Hi, my name is Peter Herku, and I would like to introduce myself, tell my story about my life, so that you can understand me better. I was born in Hungary in the 70s, and I was raised up there in a communist country. I didn't notice a lot of things because everyone had the same situation, everyone had work and had some income. So I was not poor, I was happy in my life. I was good at school, I liked it. I like very much to be good at something. So I also like to be good at karate. I was going to karate training, and what I like there, if I look back now, first I like the structure of karate, because it's clear what is your role, how you have to greet each other, what is the training all about, what is the structure, how you train, what exercises you do. So I liked it very much because it was a clear structure. I also liked it very much that I can be better and better in a measurable way. So it was, like with belts, with white belt or blue belt. So you could exercise, take exams, and get better and better, get higher and higher level. So I ended up just before the black belt, so brown belt I had. I studied in secondary school, then I moved to Budapest, to the capital of Hungary, to study chemical engineering. And I was not a real chemist in that sense. I'm more like the management part of chemical engineering and the optimization part. Again, looking back, it's quite evident that I like that part more, because I started to be interested in processes, like production process, manufacturing process, and how you can improve it, optimize it to get better results. And that is still in me. Today I'm still interested in that aspect of business. Just after the war came down, my father died, age of 47, very young, so just too early. So he couldn't be at my wedding. I married a Dutch girl. I met my wife at the Balaton Lake, on holiday, and it still works, So I'm meeting somebody on holiday and then having a relationship until you get married. So that's what happened with me. And first we lived in Hungary, because I still had 2 years left from the university, and for the last half year we moved to the Netherlands, close to Eindhoven, in the Netherlands, to finish my dissertation. After I finished it, 6 months later, we had to move back again because I had no residence permit, so I was not allowed to stay, although we were married. So we packed again, made a decision, and moved back. I started working in Hungary at the ExxonMobil, and it was a good year, but also a very challenging year. It was my real first job, and we had bought a house with a Dutch mortgage, and we earned local money. And in that year we had a 35% devaluation of the money, so we had to pay more and more for our mortgage. So we decided after 1 year, okay, let's sell the house, pack in again, and try the second time in the Netherlands. And within ExxonMobil I could get a job in Breda. That's the Benelux office in the Benelux from ExxonMobil, so I could start there working. That was very nice. and it was again challenging because it was all in Dutch. I could speak a little bit Dutch, I could speak English, of course, Hungarian of course, but Dutch very little, although I had lessons from my wife at home. So I had rough time starting in the Netherlands, new job, and you know, like with big corporations like Exxon, you join a company as a young graduate, and you are in a pool and you are compared with each other to see who is the best, who can get promoted quickly and who will stay behind. And I was rather in the back instead of in the front of the pool because of my language, because of my background. So I had it in English, I had to do everything in Dutch, I had to learn business finance. I was a business analyst. I had no business background at all. I was good with numbers because of chemical engineering background, but that was it. And I was a business analyst in an industry and wholesale department, so it's a sales department, where every Monday before noon I had to prepare a weekly report on sales from all kinds of industries, like sales to aviation, sales to sea bunkers, you know, big ships, sales to road companies, sales to inland water trade, sales of liquid gas for all kind of use, industrial use. So it was very complex business, very diverse, and so I had a big challenge to understand the business, understand why we sell more, why we sell less, what was the reason, how can I explain the reason why we are behind or with sales or really above our budget. And Monday at noon was very sharp, and I missed the deadlines a few times. So I get my supervisor, Linze de Vries, thank you Linze if you see this, taught me a very hard lesson, you know. I said 12 o'clock is 12 o'clock, no more, no later than that, and I really insist on it. And I really had stress to achieve that, to be on time. So, but I learned it very quickly. It was good. At that time I felt bad because, you know, until that point I was always the best in class, best in the karate training, and now I was not good anymore. So it was a hard lesson, but a very good lesson, very important lesson. It's also culture change, because the Dutch people like to say it is as it is. They are direct in their communication. So it was a good but hard lesson. I started getting interested in business finance, trying to predict future, trying to predict the financial performance of company, because later I moved to the treasury department of ExxonMobil. So I started getting more interested in P&Ls and balance sheet and cash flow statements. So I decided to join Webster University to do an MBA course training. So I get my Master of Business Administration degree at Webster University. They had a campus in Leiden in the Netherlands, but it's a US-based university. It was very good because, you know, until that point I had only technical background, but now I had a big background or broad background in marketing, finance, and HR and all that kind of stuff, operations. So it was very good. Moving to other companies, I had different chemical companies or financial companies where I was head of finance, head of administration, kind of CFO level as well. And lastly, I joined a big machine manufacturer, German company, family owned company, but it's a big one. And they are building machines, mainly for paper industry, paper production. So they're building the machines, and I was in charge at one of their sites in the Netherlands. And what I liked there, that I could experiment and build up something new, like management reporting and financial reporting. And I was involved in automation as well. So how can I automate processes to make it more effective? So I liked it very much, and I was so good at that. My most of reporting was basically 100% automated, or for a huge part. So I had time left. There was another company, other sister company or subsidiary, where they also needed someone like me. So I had 2 subsidiaries under my leadership for finance. And there I get to know Lean Six Sigma, because the subsidiary, the second one, was in financial problems, and the production had to be geared up and improved, and many things had to be changed, and there was a new production director coming into the company who had great practical experience with Lean and Six Sigma process improvement methodology. So I said, okay, I would like to learn that as well. So I was one of the 5 European black belts, as they call it, who got a 5-week of training in Germany in Lean Six Sigma. And then we came back to our companies, and we had in Europe all kind of improvement projects, Lean Six Sigma projects. I liked it very much, in the Netherlands, but I had also a project in Austria, or in Germany, or in Sweden, or in Spain, or in Italy. So it was a very good experience to have it. After a few years doing all kinds of projects, savings really sometimes hundreds, thousands and millions of euros on a yearly base. This mother company wanted me back to come back in finance and move to Dubai, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to go back to finance, because I've seen that with Lean Six Sigma I can have so much impact on the result of a company, not only from finance but from operations, and because at the end operations is where things are happening, and finance is only a reflection of how good we are in operations and sales. So I didn't want to go back to finance anymore, and didn't feel like moving to Dubai for 4 or 5 years. At that time we started with foster parenting, so we had our first foster child. Now we have 4 with our 3 own children, so we're getting busy at home. So I started working as a consultant in Lean Six Sigma as a solopreneur, self-employed. And what I liked is that I not only was working in manufacturing companies, but also service companies, like technical service, maintenance companies. And later I moved to healthcare industry, first in elderly care, or district nursing, or that kind of healthcare companies, and nowadays in hospitals and rehabilitation centers. And what I liked is that the principles of Lean Six Sigma is the same, whether you are working with Lean Six Sigma in a manufacturing setting, or in a service company, or a finance company, or a healthcare company. The basic principles are the same. And what are they? You have a customer, because you do your work for somebody. So you always have a customer, even if you are an accountant or HR professional. You have a customer. Secondly, you follow certain steps. So you have a process that you should be aware of and improve. So you always have a process. And thirdly, there are things that are not going well. And if you just ask your customers, they will tell you where you can improve. So it doesn't matter where you are, you can use Lean Six Sigma, and this is what I've done. And because I spent a lot of time with private clients working in their organization, I really had a feeling that I don't reach enough people with this, because everybody has the right to enjoy their work better, more, and if they can spend their time on valuable activities instead of wasteful activities, which they don't see anymore because they're used to it, like looking for information, like correcting, like doing it over and over again, asking again, all kind of wasteful activities that we are used to it. Everybody has a right to enjoy their work more. So I want to create a community where, as an ambitious professional, you can come together in a safe setting, without noise of social media, without being approached by salespeople or by Lean Six Sigma consultants like myself. No, come together so that you can share knowledge with each other, help each other, and tell your story. How do you improve your work? How do you improve your output, your quality of your output? How do you serve your customers better than yesterday? So I think it's a great way, great opportunity to learn from each other and motivate each other. Thank you much for your time and your attention, and have a good day.